So today, we're going to be talking about function notation. This equation probably looks pretty familiar, where y is equal to an equation containing the variable of x. To make this a function, we change the y to f parenthesis x, and this is read as the function of x. The x just stands as a placeholder, so if we were going to do the function of 4, we were to replace all the x's with 4, so it would be 4 squared plus 2 multiplied by 4 to get 16 plus 8, and the answer is 24.
Okay. So along with plugging in a number for our x, we can also plug in a variable. For example, we can do f of x plus 2, and then we plug in x plus 2 into both of our x's. So we get x plus 2 squared plus 2 times x plus 2. So then we FOIL this term, so we get x squared plus 4x plus 4. And then we distribute these two terms. So then we get plus 2x plus 4. Now all we have to do is combine our like terms. So we have x squared plus 4 and 2 plus 6x and plus 8. And this is our answer. Along with plugging in one variable for x, we can also plug in 2. So we can have f of x plus h. So then we just plug in x plus h for both of our x's. So then we get x plus h squared plus 2 times x plus h. And along with the x plus 2, we just FOIL this term and distribute this one. So we get x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, and then FOIL, distribute that, 2x plus 2h. And we don't have any common like terms, so that would be our answer.
So now that we've kind of learned the basics of entering different variables and numbers into our function notation.
Ooh, nice. Oh!
We're going to put all of that together into something a little bit more complicated. So this is our base function still. And we're going to solve this whole big long equation. The function of x plus h minus the function of x over h. And so what this is telling us is we're going to find the function of x plus h, subtract our original function, and then divide that whole thing by h. So we're going to move over here a little bit. We're going to take f of x plus h. So we're going to replace all the x's with x plus h squared plus 2 times x plus h. Now we have our minus f of x, which is our original function. So remember, we're distributing this negative. So we're going to subtract negative x squared and subtract 2x. And that whole thing is still over h. Now this is looking a little bit complicated. We're going to FOIL, distribute, and then it's going to start to look a little bit easier. So we get x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 2x plus 2h minus x squared minus 2x over h. Now we have some like terms up at the top, so we can cancel those out. We have negative x squared cancels x squared, and negative 2x cancels our positive 2x, which leaves us with 2xh plus h squared plus 2h over h. If you notice, all of our terms and our denominator have an h in it, so we can cancel those h's out pretty easily, which leaves us with our final answer of 2x plus h plus 2. Now we're going to try something a little bit more difficult with a new function. So this time we're going to work with the function f of x equals 1 over x. And again, we're going to have that same equation, f of x plus h minus f of x over h. So we plug in x plus h for our x in the first part. We get 1 over x plus h. And now we're subtracting our original function, minus 1 over x. And that whole thing is over an h. So we're going to ignore that h for a little while and look just at our numerator. In order to add these two fractions together, we need to find the LCD, which we'll just cross multiply. So on this side, we'll multiply the top and the bottom both by x. And on this side, we'll multiply the top and the bottom both by x plus h, which gives us x minus x, don't forget to distribute that minus h over x times x plus h over h. So these two x's over here are going to cancel each other out. And to get rid of this h on the bottom, we're going to multiply this fraction by the reciprocal of h over 1, which is 1 over h. We multiply that to get negative h over x times h times x plus h. We can cancel out our h's, and we're left with our answer of negative 1 over x times x plus h. And that's our answer.